Welcome to the journey of becoming a master storyteller. Did you know that humans are 22 times more likely to remember facts when they are woven into stories? It's true, the power of storytelling is embedded deeply in our DNA, from ancient campfires to modern boardrooms. In this video, we will uncover 6 proven techniques to transform your storytelling skills. From crafting gripping openings that hook your audience from the first word to weaving complex emotional tapestries that resonate with depth and authenticity. We'll explore how the right pacing can make or break your narrative and how dialogue and character thoughts can reflect intricate realities and truths. Get ready to dive deep into the secrets that make stories stick in our minds and hearts. Whether you're looking to captivate a room, engage your readers, or simply master the art of conveying your thoughts and experiences, these techniques will elevate your stories from simple tales to unforgettable experiences. Stay tuned as we start with the very foundation of any great story, the blueprint of its structure. Chapter 1. The Architect's Blueprint. Planning your story's skeleton. Crafting a story is a bit like building a house. Before you even think about the interior, you need a solid blueprint. That's where your story's structure comes in. Stephen King, in his memoir, On Writing, suggests that stories aren't just created, they're excavated. Much like an architect, a storyteller must first plan out the structure. Begin with the basics. Every story needs a beginning, a middle, and an end. This might sound obvious, but the magic lies in how these elements are executed. In your introduction, set the scene and introduce your characters. This is your chance to make your readers care about what's coming next. Consider the data. A study from Johns Hopkins University found that stories with a clear structure are 35% more likely to be remembered by their audience. Why? Because structure offers a path for the audience to follow. It's comforting and familiar, even when the story itself is full of surprises. Transitioning to the middle of your story, focus on building tension. This is the rising action. What challenges do your characters face? How do they grow? This section is about escalation, and it's vital to keep your readers hooked. Now, the climax, the most exciting part of your story. It's the moment everything builds towards. Here's where you resolve the central conflict. Make it memorable. A powerful climax leaves a lasting impression. Lastly, don't forget the resolution. Tie up loose ends and offer some closure. Readers appreciate a story that feels complete. It's satisfying to see characters emerge changed, hopefully for the better, after their trials. Remember, your story's structure is its skeleton. Everything else is just flesh and skin. Without a strong skeleton, the story doesn't stand. Plan it well, and your story will not only stand but also walk, run, and maybe even fly. Chapter 2. The Hook. Mastering magnetic openings. An opening line should invite the reader to begin the story, said author John Irving. It's true, the first sentence of your story sets the tone for everything that follows. Think of it as your first impression in an interview. Make it count. Statistics show that readers decide within the first 30 seconds whether to continue with a story. So, your opening needs to pack a punch. Start with action, a question, or an intriguing statement that begs further exploration. Why not drop your reader right into the middle of a scene? This technique, known as in medias res, is a classic for a reason. It's like arriving at a party just when things get interesting. The energy is infectious. Or, try opening with a character-driven moment. Let your character's voice lead the way. If your reader can connect with the character from the first sentence, you've got them hooked. Dialogue can also be a powerful tool. Opening with spoken words introduces immediate interaction. It's like overhearing a snippet of a conversation. It's natural to want to hear more. Here's a tip. Keep your language simple but evocative. Use vivid words that paint a picture but are easy to understand. Remember, your goal is to pull readers in, not push them away with overly complex sentences. Chapter 3. The Heartbeat. Pacing. Your narrative pulse. Pacing is essentially the heartbeat of your story. It determines the speed at which your story's events unfold and keeps the reader's interest alive. According to a survey by the National Storytelling Network, well-paced stories are 50% more likely to be recommended to others. Begin by understanding that not every part of your story needs to move at the same speed. Some moments are naturally faster, filled with action and dialogue, while others may slow down to provide necessary information or build emotional depth. A common tool to control pacing is sentence length. Short, choppy sentences can make a scene feel fast. Longer, flowing sentences tend to slow things down. Mix them up to create a rhythm that matches the mood you want to convey. Paragraph length plays a role too. Quick, short paragraphs can give a sense of urgency, propelling the reader forward. Longer paragraphs can be used to slow the reader down, making them ponder over more complex ideas or descriptions. Remember to give your readers breathing room. After a high-tension scene, allow a moment of calm. This lets the reader process what happened and builds anticipation for what's next. Think of it as giving your audience a moment to catch their breath before the next sprint. Transitions are your friend. They help smooth over jumps between different speeds and scenes, making the change in pacing feel natural. Effective transitions keep readers from becoming disoriented and losing the thread of the narrative. Lastly, timing is everything. Reveal secrets at the right moment, escalate conflicts gradually, and pace your clues in a mystery to keep readers guessing. Good pacing keeps the reader hooked from start to finish, turning pages without them even realizing why they can't put your book down. Chapter 4. The emotional palette painting with words. Emotion is the lifeblood of a good story. It transforms mere events into experiences that can move the reader. Maya Angelou famously said, "People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." Start by knowing your characters deeply. What scares them? What are their deepest desires? Use these emotions to guide how they interact with the plot and other characters. This connection makes the emotional experience genuine and relatable. Use sensory details to enhance the emotional impact. Describe not just what characters see, but what they smell, touch, and hear. According to a study by the Association for Psychological Science, sensory details significantly boost readers' emotional engagement. Don't tell the reader what to feel. Show them through the character's actions and reactions. Show a character's hands trembling or their voice cracking to convey fear, rather than just stating that they are scared. Metaphors and similes are powerful tools for evoking emotions. They allow you to draw comparisons that might not be immediately apparent but that resonate on a deeper emotional level. For instance, saying, "Her loneliness was as cold as an unlit hearth," can paint a more vivid emotional picture than merely stating, "She was lonely." Dialogue should also be used to reveal emotional states. How characters speak, the words they choose, their tone, their pace, can provide insight into their emotional worlds without explicitly stating how they feel. Balancing emotional content is key. Too much can overwhelm the reader, while too little may leave them disconnected. Aim for a narrative that lets the reader visit a wide range of emotions, creating a more memorable and engaging story. Chapter 5. The Mirror's Edge. Reflecting with dialogue and character thoughts. Dialogue isn't just about filling silence. It's a critical tool for revealing character and advancing your plot. According to Elmore Leonard, "If it sounds like writing, I rewrite it." This captures the essence of dialogue. It should always sound natural, as if overheard in real life. Start by listening to how people talk in everyday life. Notice they rarely use complete sentences and often interrupt each other. Incorporate this into your writing to give your dialogue a realistic feel. Authentic dialogue helps the reader hear the voice of each character, making them more vivid and relatable. Character thoughts offer a direct window into their psyche. Unlike dialogue, thoughts can be full sentences and are often more structured. This is where you can show what a character is thinking directly, without the filters of social interaction. It deepens the reader's understanding and emotional connection to the character. When integrating thoughts, be selective. Overusing internal monologue can slow down the narrative. Balance it with action and dialogue to keep the pacing tight. According to a study by Purdue University, stories with well-balanced narrative techniques are more engaging and maintain reader interest longer. Use punctuation and formatting to differentiate thoughts from dialogue. Italics are commonly used to denote thoughts, making them distinct from spoken words. This helps avoid confusion and keeps the reader immersed in the story. Finally, dialogue and thought should always serve the story. Each line of dialogue or thought should push the story forward or reveal something important about the character. If it doesn't serve a purpose, it might be better left unsaid. Chapter 6. The seamless weave. Integrating themes and subplots. Themes and subplots are the layers that add depth and complexity to your main plot. They are like the threads in a tapestry, each adding color and texture. J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter series, for instance, is a masterclass in how subplots and themes can enrich a narrative, dealing with issues from discrimination to death, woven seamlessly into the magical adventures. Start by defining the central theme of your story. This theme will act as the backbone, supporting and enhancing the narrative. Whether it's love, justice, freedom, or betrayal, your main theme should resonate through every subplot and character development. Subplots add variety and can help maintain reader interest by providing breaks from the main storyline. They also offer opportunities to explore your characters in different contexts, revealing different facets of their personalities. Ensure your subplots are relevant to the main story. They should all converge to support or contrast with the main theme, adding layers rather than just complexity. For instance, if your main theme is betrayal, a subplot might explore loyalty among secondary characters. Balance is key. A common mistake is allowing a subplot to overshadow the main plot. Keep the primary storyline in the spotlight by revisiting it regularly throughout the narrative. According to a survey by the American Literary Review, stories where subplots significantly enhance the main plot are more likely to receive positive reviews. Integrating themes and subplots requires careful planning and consideration, but when done right, they enrich the story, making it more engaging and thought-provoking for the reader. Aim to weave them together so tightly that the reader can't imagine the story without them.